Oh, I'm sorry. I was just doing my daily routine of starting up a dance party and then trying not to worry about this Phineas and Ferb petition that seems to be starting. You nerds are weird, let me tell you that. So, hi guys. I'm going to take you through a brief thing because this is something I've been working on or was planning to work on all day. Tomorrow I'm going to be having a stream, probably about an hour or two long, where you guys can come hang out. I'm going to be leveling up my Alm all the way to 40, giving him the skills he needs to have done, but we're going to go over a tip that I can give you guys to make things a little bit easier if you decide to use certain characters like Alm or Lucina or any characters that happen to have a Falchion. Alright? Okay, so... But first, pretty sure I'm going to get my daily orbs. Hand them over. About the login bonus. Thank you. Okay. We have released a version, fix the situation with some users. Oh, God. Oh, neat. They're going to send us free 10 orbs on the 13th as well for their little mistake. That's cool. That's awesome. Thank you, IS, for doing that. At least they, you know, when they admit their problems, it's really nice of them. So that's cool. I mean, I'm going to try and go for plot real quick and just see if I can't get that before we get into the tip real quick, guys. I'm sorry. I really want it, okay? I really want that plot. It needs to come to me. Come. Let me embrace you in my arms. Yes. Oh? Swear to God. Oh! It's Reinhard. You know what? If I can get one that actually has a good IV, I will be extremely happy. So let me just pull this up real quick. You know, I never have the IV calculator handy because half the time I'm not expecting to actually summon anything. So let's take a look and see what our Reinhard is at. Reinhard? Reinhard. 4 stars, please. Alright, let's see here. I'm pretty sure he has a normal attack, yep. His speed is actually the Bane. His resistance is the Bane. I mean the Boon. Oh, goody. That's not terrible. I mean, he's not exactly fast by any stretch anyway, so... But I have a better Reinhard outside of that. Okay, so... Let's talk about something that I've been wanting to kind of address and give you an idea of how this can be really helpful for those who... I always get the question when the Tempest Trials hangs around because whenever I log on to Discord, it's always like... you know, here's a bunch of questions. What should I do with these characters? What should I do with that characters? And usually, guys, when it comes to characters, it's always just go with what you think is best. But, you know, sometimes when you get IVs, you know, just so we're clear, when you get certain IVs, don't worry so much about it. Just try to build the character as you would normally. Usually, it doesn't really affect too much, unless it's an archer, I guess. Outside of that, one of the things I oftentimes get asked is, what healer should I bring along for Tempest Trials? And I'm always like, healer? Tempest Trials? Basically, really, you could bring along any healer, but here is something that is an alternative for you in case you happen to have it. So the first thing in our recipe for these kind of characters is you're going to need certain units. And I hate to say that, but you're going to need certain units. Well, mostly units that wield Falchions. Chrom has one. Lucina has one. Just to give you an idea, Alm also has it. So if you happen to use Alm at all for your bonus, that's great. If you don't want to use him and instead have someone like May, and you can substitute the red unit with someone else like Lucina who just does better, even, well, better. Also, Marth has it. Mass Lucina has it as well. And I'm pretty sure Marth is at least the easiest version to get, as he can appear as 4 stars, so can Chrom, but you get the idea. And if you have to get any of those, this is really great. So why exactly would you want to use these units as a healing unit? Well, you see, one thing that the Falchion has above all else, outside of the whole Dragon Killer 16 attack, is that it basically has renewal 2, I believe that is, which is essentially that every 3rd turn, that unit recovers 10 HP. Now, here's the fun thing about this, okay? Is that if you pair this ability, you know, from the Falchion with another ability, you can essentially make something that is like a healer, but actually, at least I find a little bit more useful in something like Tempest Trials. This is what I've seen a lot of, and something that I think people should really try and, you know, consider when it comes down to it. So, alright. So, let's just put Alm here. Now, I'm not sure if I actually have... I mean, I have a 5-star version of her, but it's always not the easiest. I'm hoping I still have a 4-star version of her. If not, I'm going to be sad. Oh, it looks like I only have that 5-star version of her. Oh, well. I hate to say it, but Faye is just... meh. She's not the most amazing. But if you happen to have her at 4 stars, she tends to pop up. She's the only green dragon unit that you can get. And she's not exactly the most amazing, but if you do happen to have her at all, here is something you can do. So... as you can see here, there's my Fae, and there's my Alm. The one thing we're looking for, though, is renewal. You can also potentially give drawback, but, you know, renewal is what I'm aiming for. And you know what? No, oh, that's right. We can only do 3. I was thinking 4 for some reason. Ugh, good lord. Anyways, renewal. Give renewal to Alm. And the simple fact here is that renewal is, well, what Falchion's kind of based on. In that when you use it... for those who don't know, or for some reason, you know, didn't really bother with, I guess, Fae, renewal does, well, basically that. It starts off at every 4th turn, but if you upgrade it all the way to 3, it's every 2nd turn. And from there, it gets even better. So renewal stacks not only with Falchion, but if you get it up to level 3, it also alternates. And because of that, you will usually have a 10 HP heal almost every turn. There will occasionally be a lapse every so often. I forget. I think it's like by the 6th turn, 4th, 5th, 6th. It starts to, you know, you might lapse a turn, but then it goes back doing that. Sometimes they even stack, so you might get the occasional 20 tick. But mostly, it's all about trying to do that. And from there, we're also going to give him another ability that is very handy in doing this. Especially since Alm has, you know, at least he has decent enough HP, and that's what I'm going to be going for, is that you want to build him as this kind of battery here. So, basically, let's see here. I mean, I think Donald has it at least early enough. We're going to steal reciprocal aid from him. You know what? We'll just take drag back too. I mean, I guess we can technically do that. Or maybe we could actually, you know, steal HP if we really wanted to, but nah, I really don't care. You know what? I'd rather just have HP, honestly. Alright, so, I mean, why not? So, Reciprocal Aid is a very nice ability for something like this, if you're going to do something like this, for a certain reason, and I'm going to try... unfortunately, I didn't have a unit ready to actually do this. I've been working all day. I do apologize, but... things get a little weird, so we're going to make a group real quick and try to just level up on while I explain this as best as I possibly can. But, okay, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what this all does, because, well, when it comes to healers tend to be the one unit that really can't operate or do anything outside of what they, well, do. Which is just, well, heal. They heal. That's all you do. Good thing is that if you do decide to do this, luckily Alm himself actually has Falchion, so that's a good blessing, or, you know, whatever unit you decide to use. But Reciprocal Aid, what it does is that it swaps HP with adjacent allies. Neither unit can go above their max HP, of course, but with things like Falchion and Renewal, doing this basically allows our good friend Alm here to essentially become this weird, somewhat pseudo-healer that also has the ability to actually attack. Quite well, too, by the way. The only problem, though, of course, is that I'm pretty sure Renewal does take the B slot, but still, I mean, above Wind Sweep, which I don't really care for the sweep skill. You know, if you're going to build something, this is what I'm going to be doing, because I like to have a unit that can at least do some damage. Typically, healers are kind of just that slot that could potentially have been used for a better unit. You know, something that can attack, something that can, you know, do fairly well at just dealing with other units, as opposed to having something that may die fairly quickly. Outside of that, well, I'm probably going to give him something that will accent his abilities a little bit more, a little bit better. I'm not probably going to go straight for the death, you know, like life or death. I want him to have a little bit more beef to him so he can sustain a bit more, heal himself, and potentially heal his allies. This way, you can have a unit that can tank a bit, heal a bit, and attack more readily. Because, you know, if you're going to use a healer in Tempest Trials, I feel that having a unit that can at least heal themselves, not only that, but also swap out health, is a lot more interesting and viable as a strategy. It's actually a little bit more viable on some other characters. I feel Lucina does a bit better as a, you know, as an attacking unit, because, well, she has a lot more of the speed and the actual, you know, attack stat to actually handle that. Crom will do fairly well. I'm pretty sure Marth does fairly well as, you know, because, well, I think at least he has a bit more resistance and a little bit more defense, if I can recall correctly, than but these are all options you can take, and these are all options that I really just enjoy a lot as it is, because this option allows you to take a unit along with you, especially someone like who isn't the best, and may possibly make him a bit more useful than what he is as a bonus unit. Since you're going to have to take a bonus unit along with you, why not take something that has a little bit more variety? That's just what I'm going to offer to you guys, and tell you how it might be a bit better for you as a Tempest, as running the Tempest would be, than, you know, bringing a healer. As much as I love my Priscilla, I often find that since units tend to have a lot more resistance, even as she has Wrathful Staff, she still doesn't do very much damage, especially against some of the bigger, heavier units that somehow have a lot more. She also doesn't have the speed, usually, to deal with it outside of Horse Emblem. So, you know, if you're going to take along a unit like I say this build's pretty good, but that's just me. I'm going to go level him up. I'll be back tomorrow. Come join me for a stream, have some fun. It'll be in the afternoon, and I really would enjoy seeing you guys there. I'm just going to say bye-bye. Love you guys. Was going to do a lot more, but I just went as quickly as possible. So, catch you guys soon. Thanks for watching.